Hey everybody, welcome back. So I have been working on this bad boy just a little bit, not a whole lot, but I did get a few things done. So if you look here, I got kind of my side pieces in place. This is just in there just for, just basically to size it out right now. This is our little printout from the laser printer. So there you go. What the big project was getting these guys. So right now they're just resting in there. It's just a piece of balsa. And what I did to get these to line up, I basically made like a little shelf on the inside here. And the way I did that is I just took a little piece of really light balsa here, and I just shaved off an edge and then glued it up on the side of the fuselage there, and so that way it just rests in place. And then I'll just need to fasten it to these little wooden rails that I made down here on the side. So, and I probably need to clean up this edge just a little bit. So the way I made these was just good old-fashioned trial and error. I took that printout from the inkjet printer, and I just added a bunch of material to one side, and then I'd sand, try it out, sand, try it out, sand, try it out, until I got something that was really good, and it matches the shape of the fuselage there. So that's where I'm at on that. I also made the little side piece that goes up in here, but right now I've got the cockpit in place. I'm just holding it with paper clips. The next step that we need to do is actually drill the holes in here so that we can screw the cockpit in place, and that'll kind of secure everything just the way that we want. So that's the step we're on. That's what we're going to do. And first thing I'm going to do is just take this out and set those aside for right now. Okay, so the very first thing I did was I made sure that this whole piece was centered up nice, and also centered up nice with everything else on the fuselage. So now the goal is to drill a hole down here that will go through the fuselage, the canopy, and then there's a little lip on the actual cockpit tub itself. So if we're lucky, we're going to hit all three, and I think we're going to have to be on this inside edge just a bit, right like that. So let's see what happens. Uh-oh, I was afraid of that. Okay, we're through one layer, but I'm going to have to hold this, so probably going to obstruct your view. And I think we did it. So let's do the other side. Right there. Yeah, and if you did see me jump there, it's because I did get my finger. So be careful when you're doing that kind of stuff. But that's okay. I'd rather get my finger and have it just right than not. So, alright, so we've got those drilled. Now I need to test the screws. Okay, now that we've got the holes drilled, let's remove our awesome paper clip here that was holding everything together. And we're going to put in one of these tiny little screws. Alright, pretty awesome. I felt it go all the way through, which is a good thing. It is sticking up just a bit, so I either have to carve out a little section of the bottom of the canopy, and I think that's what the instructions actually describe. So you'd cut a little notch right out of there basically, or I can try to flush mount that, but I'm not sure if there's going to be enough material there without causing a tear in the fiberglass, so I'll probably go the route that the instructions suggest. So alright, let's go ahead and do the other side. I think I'll leave the paper clip on for this one. And even if I don't make that flush, this is all going to be black on the inside here anyway, so it should hide it pretty good. Okay. And I can feel it going through all the layers, which that's good. Alright, I should be able to take that one off now. Okay, that's really nice. So now, our cockpit tub, everything is very secure, so, okay, good. I was a little bit worried. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hit all those layers. So, I guess as an added security, I could add some more up here, but honestly, I don't. Almost all of the weight going to be pulling off this front end, and so I think, and actually it's not even really pulling too much because we built that little H frame underneath. So alright, I think we can call that part done. Okay, so our next big obstacle, I put these wood pieces back in, and these will probably just end up being templates. They're kind of heavy, it's more dense balsa, but anyway, so now I just need to do the whole trial and error thing of fitting this side piece in, which currently it's way too long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that down a little bit and try it and see what happens. Okay, I got it a little bit closer. I'm not so much concerned about the material on this side because I can always trim that down. But the big thing is I'm trying to get a nice tight fit on this top edge here, which looks like I'm just gonna have to cut out a little notch right now, and it still is just a wee bit longer than it should be, and you can't tell a whole lot, but it looks like it's further on this side, this direction, than on the back side, which is further that way. So I need to correct that a little bit too, and the way I can do that is the angle at which it's cut at the bottom there, so I want to make sure it's nice and straight. So let's try round two. Okay, so we're getting a little bit better there. I had to tape down this one side there because I kept knocking it into the fuselage, but yeah, you can see the fit's a little bit better. Alright, like so. Alright, so now we're getting to the point that I can actually taper this edge off on this side, or you know, on the bottom, so that it meets flush. But we're still just a little bit long. You can't really tell from this angle, but there's a gap underneath there because it's still, this one is just a little bit longer than it should be. So let's try again. This is what it's all about, is just trial and error. Okay guys, I think we got this side pretty much done. Everything's, I put a piece of tape on the underside there to connect it to the side panel. So this front panel is connected to the side panel right now, just to make it easier to put in. You can just barely see there's a little gap up at the top there, which we'll have to kind of do something cosmetic. And so what I'll do is I'll make it so this little control panel here, I'll make it a little piece of balsa come out this direction here, so it'll look like it's all tied in. Now whatever material I end up using for this piece on the side is going to have the actual picture of the side controls on it, just like this. And I'm going to go in and Photoshop. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to go in and Photoshop, take out all of this white here, so it'll just be gray. I'm going to make it extend this portion up here so that it's also gray, extend this portion back here so that's also gray, and then extend it on the back side so that it's all gray, so that it'll look like, basically like it's supposed to. So then, using the same technique I use for the main cockpit area, is I'll layer different portions of this to give it kind of that 3D feel. So I'm going to keep plugging away at this and kind of get both sides ready to go so that we can start doing the Photoshopped, the new side panels and everything. Alright guys, so here's where we're at. What I did is I took our balsa, our template, I glued it into the correct shape, and then I Photoshopped the same image that I had before, except I changed the background to the same gray as the gray that's on the control panel itself, and basically trace that out. And I think we can just use this glossy paper's thick enough, or rigid enough, I think. Maybe we need to glue just, you know, one more sheet to it or something, but we can use this as the actual surface. It's I think it's strong enough, plus it'll be lighter. Anyways, I did that and came up with that, and looks pretty good. And we can still add some of that 3D detail, you know, make a few knobs that pop up and everything, but that's kind of what we're looking for here. I forgot to mention in the last video, so we still need to do a little bit of the center console work. This panel needs to be a little bit thinner, plus I don't know if you could tell in some of the close-ups, I got some overspray on it somehow from something that I did in the past, but anyway, this just needs to be a little bit narrower, and then there's like a little hood that comes over the sides of that, so still need to make that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and post the video as is right now. You get the basic idea of what I did there, but starting to come along pretty good. Starting to look like a cockpit. So I'll go ahead and post this, and I'll see you guys on the next one.